Today we're going to learn a different way to write the equation of a straight line. It is called standard form. You already know y equals mx plus b. That is slope-intercept form. Now we are going to move on to something called standard form. We discussed in the last lesson, m is your slope, b, and sometimes I write plus or minus b, is the y-intercept. That's how it gets its name, slope-intercept form. Okay, so we're going to fill in the blanks. Vocabulary, linear equation. The equation, this is an extra one, I gave you the answer, of a line. Cross that one out. Standard form of a linear equation is ax plus by equals c. I know you've never done this before. Where a, b, and c are integers, and a is positive, a and b are non-zero. Now we're going to take a minute and discuss what all of that means. Let's go back and talk about this. A, B, and C are integers. Well, think back, we learned about real numbers. What are integers? Integers are positive and negative, and I'll put in quotation mark, whole numbers. There will be no fractions, no decimals, never, ever. So they're positive and negative whole numbers. So this has to be a positive, negative whole number, positive, negative whole number, positive, negative whole number. There are a few rules. A is always positive. It may not be a negative number. It will always be a positive integer. A and B are non-zero. Well, what that means, if A equals 0, then B is an integer. And I forgot, but I left room, so we're going integer. Also, it can be said if B equals 0, then A is an integer. And by that, we mean a positive whole number. This will make some more sense once we start applying it to math problems. X-intercept, where the line crosses the x-axis. To find the x-intercept, let y equal 0 and solve for x. You've been doing that for a little bit. The y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis. To find the y-intercept, let x equal 0 and solve for y. So that is the vocabulary. Now we're going to apply it. So our first example here, we need to put it in standard form. That means we need it, sorry about the camera here, we need it written exactly like this. The A term has to go first, then the B term, then the C term. So I'd like to take a minute. Let's just figure out in this first math problem, A is what number, B is what number, and C is what number. When I look at this, A is the number in front of the X. So when I look, A is -4 currently. When I look, B is the number in front of Y. That is 3. C is the constant at the end by itself. So it is currently 12. Well, the first thing we need to do is literally write it in A, B, C order. So I would have -4x plus 3y equals 12. I have it in the same order as needed. Okay, next, it says that A always, always, always has to be positive. So how can I eliminate the negative in front of the 4? I can either multiply or divide by a -1. And whatever you do to one side of the equal sign, as long as you do it to the other side, it is okay. So I would end with 4x minus 3y equals -12. So now my A is positive. It also says that A, B, and C have to be integers, meaning no fractions or decimals, and we have that done. So we're good right there. Using that equation, we're going to find the x and y intercepts. First, I'll put 0 in for x and solve, and then I'll put 0 in for y and solve. If I put 0 in for x and solve, I would get -3y equals -12. Due to room, I'm going to use some mental math. I would get y equals 4. So when x is 0, because I put 0 in for x, y equals 4. That is my y-intercept. Okay, now I will do the problem again. I'm going to put 0 in for y, so I'd have 4x minus 3 times 0 equals -12. 4x equals -12. Therefore, x equals -3. This is my x-intercept. Okay, now we can graph. I simply will take my 2 points I know, so I have 0, 4, the y-intercept, and -3, 0, the x-intercept. Draw my line that passes through the 2 points. Remember, we do not play connect the dots. We draw the line passing through the 2 points. I realize that there is a lot going on here, but this is our first problem, so we're going to just work through the next one together. All right, our goal, standard form. I need the A term, then the B term, and then the C term. So when I look at this equation, let's just identify what numbers stand for what. Well, the number in front of the x is your A. Oh, what number do we have in front of the y term here? When there isn't a number there, what do I say belongs there? A 1. It's an invisible 1. And it's negative, so our B is a -1. This constant by itself, 6, is our C term. Okay, so we need to do a few things. I need to get my x's over here because it has to be written in this order, so I would minus 2x from both sides to make that one go away. And then I would need my 6 to go to that side, so I would subtract 6. So I would have -2x minus y, the 1 is not necessary, equals a negative 6. I'm just moving things right and left of the equal sign. Okay, I'm excited. I have no fractions or decimals, hallelujah. But remember, a may not be negative. So I need to multiply by negative 1. And you may do that as long as you distribute to everything. So 2x plus y equals 6. I check. A is positive, no fractions and decimals. We did a great job. Now we're going to find our x and y intercepts by substituting 0 in for x in solving and then 0 in for y in solving. Well, when I put 0 in for x, y equals 6. Ask yourself, is this the x or the y intercept? Now I will put 0 in for my y. Now that's gone. I would divide by 2 and I get 3. Is this the x or y intercept? To graph this, I'll just graph my 2 ordered pairs. Again, I'm going to try the best I can, to make a straight line. We are not playing connect the dots. I would like you to pause the video. Actually, I'm going to end it because it's 10 or 12 minutes long. And I want you just to read back over everything we have written down so far. There is more to come, but reread some of this. Does it make sense? Do you remember what integers mean? Does this make sense? We haven't done an example like that yet, but we will. Double check what we just did right here before we continue.